Okay, now you know that in Windows you have different uh, text editors like Notepad and WordPad, right? If you go to here and programs, I'm sorry, accessories, and you have Notepad and WordPad. But I recommend that you download and install Notepad++. I think it's pretty good. Now if you have some other one that you want to use, that's fine. But this is a good one. This is also installed on our computers at school. So it's quite good. And I use it all the time. So anyway, whatever one you want to use is okay. Now, let's talk about different file formats. So like particularly like CSV files and tab delimited. So let's do it with Excel because that's kind of a simple way. Okay, so here I have some data, and if you check, if I click in this cell, you can see that this is there. If I click in this cell, you can see that this is cell. If I click in this, you can see that that's there. Now really I want it to be that this is in one cell, and then this is in the cell to the right, and this is into the cell to the right of that. So I want to have 3 columns, and same thing with here. This is in the first cell, this is second and third, 3 columns in other words. So one way you can do that is in Excel is you select this, and then you go to data, and you go text to columns. So I want to transform it from just text to columns. So now it has to know where where should it put the break to the next column? Where should it find the break for the next column? So I want to use, I think this data, let me do that again. I think that what separates between this R and this R is a space, but what separates this 1 and this period is a tab. So I hope that that's true. If it is true, then I can do the following. I can go to here and say that it's delimited by tabs. The columns, the new column is indicated by a tab. So if I'm right about that, let's see if we are. Tab, and go to next. Doesn't actually look like it is right, but let's see. No, it's not correct actually, so that won't work. So it's not delimited by tabs, so it's going to be actually hard to do this, but I wonder if I could do it this way. Let's see. It's kind of lazy way to do it, but let's say it's tab delimited by space. So it adds in this extra, but I wonder if I can get rid of this one somehow. Might. No, I can't do that. Okay, let's see. I could try this. Now it gave me an extra column here that I don't want. Now I wonder if there's some way to merge these two. So I just did search for merge columns in Excel 2010, and there is a way using a function. It's not really what I was looking for, but you can do it this way. So here they want to merge these into a single cell. So they use this equals concatenate A2 comma, and then this is indicates a space, right? Because it's quotes with a space in between, and then B2, and then a space. So let's try that with what I have. So I'll do it over here. So this is just how to do this in Excel, right? But Excel is something we use often, so it might be worth it to look at this. So this C5 comma space means quotation space quotation comma, and then RA. I'm sorry, then D5. And then close this. Let's see, did that work? Yeah. So it merged those two, and then I can do it that way. Okay, now I can take this, or I can just take these and put these, make a copy over here. And now I have what I wanted, even though it didn't do it exactly the way I wanted it to. Okay, so let me just get rid of this now. Delete it. Oops, it didn't like that. I'll undo that. So you see that this was referring to these, and if I delete them, then it doesn't know what to refer to. So what I really need to do now is copy this, like this, for example, and paste it here. Paste just the values, not the formulas, in other words. So now this is not referring to anything, whereas this one is referring to cell C5. So this one will be stable, but the other one won't. So now let's just get rid of this. And then move this up top, like that. Okay, now, if you followed what I did, I have this like this. So now I have this data in these cells. Now I can save this in a couple different formats. One is I can save it in what's called a comma delimited format, and another is a tab delimited format. So let's try it. If I try, first of all, let me save it just as an Excel sheet so that I don't, okay, so I'll just call it simple data as an Excel sheet. Okay, now let me save it as a comma delimited to show you that. So that's here, comma delimited. Comma means that what separates the columns are commas. So also comma delimited means it's not really an Excel file anymore. So now if I open this up, this simple, remember it was simple data.excel, but this is a new file, simple data.csv. If I open that up in Notepad or WordPad, or the one that I like is Notepad++, I'll open it up in that. So here it is. Now if I open it up in Excel, it's just going to look like it just looked, so that's not interesting. But I can open it with Notepad++, and here you can see what I said. There are commas that separate the columns. Comma, 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 comma. Okay, so that's called comma delimited, or CSV, comma separated file. Okay? However, I could have saved it instead as tab delimited. Save as tab delimited, which is where? This one. And it'll save it as with a txt ending instead of a CSV ending. Okay, so like that, and save it. And now if I look here, and I'll open this one with Notepad++, and now it's not commas that separate them, it's tabs. Now if I try and import this into another Excel sheet, it will work. Remember, it didn't work before. But alright, let's just try that just to show you that it will work now, because these are tabs. So if I go back and close this one, and now open a new sheet, or actually I guess I can just go, what do I want to do? Alright, let's go back to here. Okay, actually it's going to start that same thing that I was using before. It's going to do that here, so okay, I'll let it do it this way. And then now if I say take out, I don't want space anymore, because then this was a space here. These were separated by spaces. I don't want that. But now it's already worked. So you can see that it knows where to put the columns by the tab. You can choose what you want, but these are tab delimited. So I can do this, and now it works, right? Whereas before it didn't. Anyway, so now this is tab delimited. So we can have so if you get data from somewhere else, it might be tab delimited, or it might be comma delimited, or it might have some other delimiter. It could be semicolons or something like that. So, or it could be space delimited, although that would be kind of unusual. But anyway, so we have these lots of different files, and we have to be aware of them when we're using R, because if you try and open like a tab delimited with certain kinds of commands, it'll get messed up, versus if you try and open like a CSV with other commands, it will get messed up. So you can get messed up. So you need to know what you're doing, what the data format is, and what the commands are that will handle that data and which ones won't.